Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is so great to see all of your faces here today. As Reverend Chantel said, I am Reverend Drea, and I will be your Journey in Truth guide for today's service. Hopefully, that song really helped to get us in the mood to release and to break the barriers that we have that have been holding us back from accomplishing the things we want to accomplish, for achieving the goals that we have, and for just manifesting the desires of our heart. So, we're going to talk a little bit about all of that today, and we will be talking about my breaking barrier journey. The first thing I want to talk with you about, though, is the Breaking Barrier program and what we did in the month of January. In the month of January, we had the key of creative visualization, where we really worked to use that tool to help us focus and clarify what it is we desire for ourselves, to really allow us to outpicture and focus on and build what it is we desire for ourselves and the goals and desires and dreams that we want to accomplish, and how to make sure that the goals and dreams that we say we want to accomplish are actually in alignment with who we say we are. So we did that over the course of the month, and we did that several ways. First, we had a vision board program where everybody had a chance to really sit and create a vision board that helped them to see how they can break through those barriers, what that would look like, what it would feel like, and understand things like that. So the vision board experience was wonderful. We got started with it, and we allowed people to work on it throughout the month. We also asked you to create a sacred space within your home. And this sacred space in your home allows you the ability to strengthen your connection and alignment with all there is. It's a space that is free of distractions and illusions of the outer world. This sacred space encourages the free flow of energy. And then finally, we asked you to write a letter to God. I don't know if some of you remember that. That was one of the first things we did. And it was for you to open up and acknowledge all the areas of your life where you may have challenges, limitations, and barriers that you have, that you need help to break through. And we asked you to do it in a specific way. We asked you to use your non-dominant hand to go ahead and do that, because that really changed something in your brain and in the grooves and the neuroplasticity. So those are the things that we asked you to do in January to start off this Breaking Barrier program. So now we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing this month. This month, the key is fasting, right? So hence the song I Release, right? It's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. So let's talk about what fasting is, because a lot of people, I'm sure, have different ideas about what fasting is and isn't. And we're going to go ahead and have a working definition that we all can use and work from. So get started here. One second. Something seems to be a bit out of order. That's okay. We don't have to worry about that. So, um, release and let it go. Charles Fillmore in The Revealing Word tells us that fasting is denial, right? It is also, though, the abstinence from error thoughts to the end that we may meditate upon spiritual truths and incorporate them into our consciousness of oneness with the Father. So, what does that mean? It means allowing ourselves to be free from the things, the ideas, the thoughts that distract us from meditating and focusing on the truth, on that which grounds us, and on the fundamental principles that we live by. So that's what we're going to be working with, getting rid of anything that stops us from really focusing on who we want to be and how we want to show up in this life. Releasing that so that we have the energy, the time, and the ability to concentrate on the things we want instead of focusing on the things that we don't. Okay? So that's what we're talking about when we say fasting. So we also put together something in, where's my copy? Our Breaking Barriers book that we have for everybody and we'll have for those who didn't get one. So we talked about fasting as well, based on that definition from Charles Fillmore. And we said fasting as a spiritual tool is a holistic approach to detoxifying you spirit, mind, and body. Just as people abstain from food to eliminate waste and release toxins that may build up in their bodies, you can abstain from things other than food to disrupt those routine behaviors and entrenched habit patterns that build up and reinforce those barriers you have erected between you and your goals. Using fasting to eliminate energy-consuming limiting beliefs and error thinking, you starve those barriers and redirect your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy towards strengthening your alignment to all there is. So that's what we're talking about, starving out whatever helps to build up those barriers that we don't want, whatever limiting beliefs, whatever error thinking, whatever we've been used to, whatever society tells us that is not true, it's starving those ideas, starving those thoughts. So now we can really put in the positive thoughts and attitudes and actions that we want to accomplish whatever it is we want to accomplish. So now that we have all that straight, as I was praying and meditating about this idea of fasting as a key for breaking barriers, I thought about an experience I had with a barrier I had to break through. And it was my fibroid journey, dealing with fibroids. And I thought that it would be a great example, metaphysically, of how we would use fasting to help us break through our barriers to accomplish our goals. So I'm going to share the story with you. So some of you know a few years ago I had to have a hysterectomy because of the fibroids that I had. So probably a good 5 years before that, I found out that I had fibroids. But I was not ready to deal with it. I didn't even pay it. I blocked it out. I was like, it's not bothering me. I ain't gonna bother them. You know, and they like, I'm not ready to deal with it. I'm not ready to deal with it. And it took years. Unfortunately, over those years, the fibroids got larger. The number of them increased. So that barrier, right, got big, almost overwhelming for me. And the reason why I wasn't ready to deal with them was because of some limiting beliefs that I had. Limiting beliefs about being a woman, limiting beliefs about motherhood, limiting beliefs about some cultural things that we believe, especially in the African American community. So for me, I had a limiting belief that I wasn't, or I wouldn't be a woman if I didn't have my womb, right? My uterus, right? That was a challenge for me, right? To get over that and recognize that had nothing to do with me being a woman, right? That was a limiting belief. So I didn't even want to deal with what fibroids meant because I know it all the way down the road, it could mean having to give up my uterus. And I wasn't even ready to contemplate that idea. Another limiting belief I had was about motherhood, right? At that time, I had not had any children. And so the idea that I would not be able to have any children with a hysterectomy, oh, yeah, I really wasn't ready. Even though I wasn't pressed about having children, and I was already well into my 40s at that time, so I wasn't even thinking about that I would have children. But the fact that I would definitely not be able to, I was not ready to deal with that. That was another limiting belief, right? That motherhood had to come to me in the form of children, as opposed to other things that you can have, like birthing ideas and businesses and being mothers to your nieces and nephews and things like that. So it was another limiting belief that I had to get over. And then the limiting belief, the cultural belief that I got from others that I grew up with in my family and where I'm from, was that you leave the earth with what you came with. Right? So if you don't have to cut anything out or pull anything you leave it in there, right? Because it came for a reason, right? So you leave it what you came with, right? That is definitely a big thing in my culture. My family's from another country, we're from Belize. But I know that is also something that is thought of a lot in the Black and African American communities. And I had to get over that, right? I had to get over that. Which was that actually was almost the most challenging one, getting over leaving with what I came with, right? Leaving with what I came with, right? Even if that thing. Thank you for asking. Reverend Terry asked, how was this affecting my health as I was going through this? That's what helped me to get over the leaving with what I came with part. Because as the fibroids grew and got larger and multiplied, my quality of life was decreasing, right? I was not able to sleep well. I was having challenges where the fibroids were pressing on my kidney. I even ended up becoming severely anemic. My monthly cycles got worse. They were much longer. That whole host of things were happening. But I was trying to ignore all that. Say, okay, this is just what it is, part of being a woman, right? Yeah. And had to realize that this thing that I want to leave with, unfortunately, if I left it alone, would have me leave earlier, right? So I had to come to terms and realize that I had these limiting beliefs about dealing with this fibroid journey. But even though we see all these things, we recognize that, we even understand that we have these limiting beliefs, that doesn't mean that we're ready to deal with it. That doesn't mean that we even see how much it may be affecting our lives, right? That's what happened to me. And I end up having to have a series of deep and meaningful conversations with family, with friends who have gone through the experience before me. My best friend was big. She was key because she had just went through her own experience just maybe a couple years before me. And it was just amazing, even in passing and just in her talking about hers, not when we're having deep conversations, that things that she said appeared for me later on. So I had to have those conversations with my family, people to sit me down and say, look, we want you here. We want you to stay. I'm going to need you to do something about this. I need you to get your act together, right? Another challenge for me, though, was the first couple of doctors that I saw, they were not, how should I put it? They didn't have the best bedside manner, okay? So they didn't make me feel like this was a journey I wanted to take, right? The way they talked, very matter of fact, very cold, not supportive, or anything like that. Some of the terminology they used just was very devastating, just sitting there as they're talking at me, right? Not to me. So, when I found the right doctors and had those deep conversations with my family, my best friend, Reverend Sharon, my spiritual sister, to really talk through some of this stuff and understand where I was able to see that these limiting beliefs were actually a barrier. They were actually a barrier for me. So once I recognized that, I understood that, had those conversations, I then had to go into my own prayer and contemplation, right? And I had to come to understand, what do I want out of life? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? What are my goals, right? Because one of my limiting beliefs had me thinking that my goal was motherhood. One of them had me thinking that my goal was being a woman. I'm already a woman right? So I had to really figure out what my true and authentic goal was for me. And that it was in alignment with who I am and how I want to show up. And that goal was a better quality of life. A better quality of life. So once I came to that understanding, and of course had a final consultation with my doctor, I was finally ready to journey down the path to a healthier and more abundant life. Now, to do that, it required a hysterectomy. It had gotten to the point where that was what I had to do. My fibroids had stretched my uterus to the point of an 8.5-month pregnancy. That's how big. But mine didn't grow out. They grew up. So they were pressing up here and they're pressing down. So I had to have a hysterectomy. There was no just taking the fibroids out. So first, I had to change my diet. And I remember a few of you, oh man, the community is wonderful. You know, I had to change, they changed their diet too. My friends, my roommates, everybody participated. And, you know, I already ate pretty healthy, but there were things that I just could not eat. The way that I prepared my food, everything was affecting and nourishing the fibroids. So I had to change my diet and change the foods so that the fibroids would no longer grow. And so that can start to shrink. So I had to release certain foods. I had to release them. And so the fibroids shrunk a little bit. But then I was put on a prescription medication to trick my body into a false menopause. See, a woman's womb or uterus is designed to nurture and allow things to grow. We had to make the environment in my room seem that that was no longer the case. So I had to release that. I had to now say, wow, right? Menopause, all of that kind of stuff. All that comes with it. Even though it was false, all that comes with it. And it caused the fibroids to shrink a bit more because I deprived them. Finally, though, I had to have a uterine fibroid embolization, which is called a UFE. And this literally blocks the blood vessels to the fibroids, starving and depriving them of what they need to grow. It caused them to shrink a bit more. So because I did this, because I followed this journey, because I understood what was limiting me, because I figured out what my true goal was, each one of these steps, I had no problem doing it. There was no turning back. There was no questioning it. There was no why it was only one working and not another one working. I knew what I had to do, and I was able to do it because I understood what the end goal was, which was a better quality of life. So because I starved and deprived the fibroids of what they needed to grow and to become entrenched in my body, they shrunk enough that it became easier for them to be removed. Thank you. Thank you. Because otherwise it was going to be a much more invasive surgery that was going to take months of recovery and, you know, all those kinds of things. I was able to have a much simpler procedure that only took like maybe 7 or 8 days for me to recover. Well, you know, not fully recover, but, you know. Y'all know what I mean. It takes a long time to recover from any surgery. So, yeah. So, there's my story. So I tell this story to you because as with any experience in our lives, we can look at them from a metaphysical perspective and find wisdom, alignment, and a lesson. In my story, there's a lesson about how you can use this barrier-breaking program and the key of fasting to break through your own barriers. So, the first thing is acknowledge your limiting beliefs. That's the first thing we need to do. Just as I had to be willing to recognize that I had some limiting beliefs that was even stopping me from thinking about the fact that I had fibroids, you will have to recognize your own. Only then, only when you recognize what your limiting beliefs are, that you have limiting beliefs that are stopping you from having and doing and being what you want to be. Only then you will know what you must do to starve them out. Only then will you know what you have to do, what you have to fast from in order to break down the barriers that you have. The second thing is recognizing that your limiting beliefs are creating barriers and limitations from you living the life you want to live. And in some cases, you may need help recognizing this. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We could get to the right person later. People don't ask for help. So it don't matter who the right person is or not. They're not even going to ask to know that that person is the wrong person. They need to ask. You need to ask for help. We are not an island like they say, right? I had people around me that has gone through the experience that could advise me. They're not telling me what to do, but they could tell me what their experience was, how they moved through it. Okay? I had people that can help me see what I couldn't see. Sometimes you don't know what your blind spots are because what? They're blind spots, right? So you can't see them. There are people that can help you to explore and work through how these limited beliefs were preventing you from living your life. That's what I was not seeing. How much of a struggle it was for me to get through each and every month because I got used to struggling to get through each and every month. We don't know how much we are able to adapt as human beings. Adapt to an imperfect or unhappy or unsuccessful life. Instead of focusing on getting to that place. We get used to that. So sometimes you need somebody outside of you to help you see these things. So you all, when you all are finally understanding that you have limiting beliefs, may need to reach out to a family member, to your accountability partner, which we will get later, or to one of the revs to do the same for you. This will help you to understand in which ways and what you need to fast from. The third thing is prayer and contemplation. At a certain point, I had to go within to quiet prayer and contemplation to understand what I really wanted, what my true goal was, and then to determine whether or not I was ready and willing to do the work necessary to achieve my goals. Right? It's one thing to understand limiting beliefs. It's one thing to recognize that you have barriers. It's another thing to be ready to do the work. Right? You have to be ready and be committed to doing the work that you need to do. You only then, when you do this, when you go in and do your own inner work about what are the barriers you want to break and what are the goals you want to achieve, only then will you be ready to commit to fasting, to starving out those things that are creating those barriers so that you can break through them and accomplish your goals and achieve your dreams. And then finally, you got to do the work. You have to actually now do the work. Now, as I shared with you, this journey for me wasn't a one and done, right? I wasn't able to just do one thing and then, hey, it's all good. I'm great. Life is good. It took a lot for me to be able to get to the point where we could break through some barriers. I had to do 3 different things to shrink the fibroids enough to get to the procedure that would remove the fibroids. We as humans like quick fixes. We like quick fixes. But that is not always how it works. It may take a combination of several spiritual tools over a period of time to shrink your mental barriers, to shrink those limitations, to shrink those limiting beliefs necessary to break the barriers. Now, fasting may be simple, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And you will have to be willing to put in the work of fasting, detoxifying your spirit, mind, and body to break through those barriers that have been preventing you from living a full and abundant life. Are you ready to do your work? Are you ready to do your work? Now, in this month of fasting, this month of February, there are a few things that we're going to be asking you to participate in or to do to help you continue to get ready to break those barriers. So this month, we're going to be on our Lenten journey. Lent begins February 14th, and it goes through March 30th. So we're going to be asking you to go ahead and do what you need to do and prepare and get ready and fast from those things, right? So let me give you some ideas of what you might be able to fast from. Give up the idea that you can't listen to your body. Give up that idea that you can't listen to your body. Give up the idea that eating healthy is hard. Right? Give up the idea that eating healthy is expensive. Give up the idea that healthy food doesn't taste good. Right? So it's just simple things, right? It's just the way you look at it. It's just the way you look at it. But we want to give up those limiting beliefs, right? So we can starve out those barriers. So it's easier to break them down. Easier to break them down. So that's what we're going to be doing on Lenten journey. We're going to be having a preparation session on the 13th. It's going to be via Zoom to help us get ready. So the 14th is Ash Wednesday, and it also happens to be Valentine's Day. So we knew that some of y'all going to have some wonderful plans on Valentine's Day. So we weren't going to, try to get your attention on that day. But the day before, we're going to prepare ourselves. Often Ash Wednesday is a day of contemplation, thinking about how we're going to move through this Lenten journey, how you're going to move through your fasting journey. So we're going to do that preparation. And then we encourage you to go ahead and fast whatever you're going to fast, however you're going to do it. It's up to you. If it's a spiritual fast, if it is fasting from food, make sure you talk to your doctors and you do it in a healthy way. But if you're going to do that, or fasting from TV or social media or whatever it is, fasting from bad conversations, fasting from gossip, whatever it is that's going to help you break your barriers to move through and have and do and be what you want to have and do and be, that's what we encourage you to do. It could be one thing for the whole time. It could be one thing each week. It's up to you however you want to do it. But we encourage you to do that. Now, today, we are going to be working on our sugar jars. All right, so we have some examples here for you. It's like a swear jar. People know what a swear jar is. So, on your Lenten journey, if you happen to backslide or eat something that you shouldn't, or can't help but get that tea, that little gossip about something, or whatever it is, go ahead and put however much money you have determined, if it's a quarter or $1 every time you do it, put it in that sugar jar is what we're calling it, right? If by the end of Lent you don't have anything in there, way to go. Good job. But if you have, then you can, put it in your savings or do something with that money at that point. So we're going to be decorating our jars. So it's going to be motivational for us to have and use during our Lenten journey. Today, you will also be getting your accountability partners. Like I said, sometimes you need that someone, especially someone who is on the same type of journey with you, like-minded, is going through the same thing, to help you see your blind spots or to be your cheerleader and encourager. So we're going to be getting that as well. And then there's a DIY, do-it-yourself exercise that's going to be available to you called Denials, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Okay? So now let us have a great challenges today. Right. Let us now move into just talking a little bit fully about the Breaking Barrier program so that you all understand, because I've been mentioning it some in my conversation, so I want to make sure you all have a full understanding of what the Breaking Barrier program is. Dun, 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 dun. All righty. So in our Breaking Barrier program, every month we have a different key, right? And this is what we're going to be, that'll be the framework for the month, what we're going to use, the tool we're going to use to help us break those barriers, right? So last month it was creative visualization. This month it is fasting, right? And you all can see here on our board, there's a whole list, one for each month, what we're going to be using to help us break through. Now, we're not going to leave each key back in the past, right? We're going to use it, we're going to compound, we're going to build on one, use each one, and they each get stronger and stronger. So next thing you know, we are just busting through all these barriers that we have. All right? The next thing we're going to have are barrier breaking events. These are events that we are putting together that we all can participate in together as a group. Just like how today we're going to be doing our sugar jars. That's what we're doing as a group. Okay. Last month it was the vision board experience that we're able to do as a group. We also started our letters to God together here. So those are the things that we do together as a group. Then they are the DIY exercises like the one that I just showed you. So the DIY exercises is part of your work, stuff you do on an individual basis for you. Doesn't have anything to do with us. It's you and your work. And so if you go to our website, livingtruth365.org, and go to our Breaking Barriers page, you will see the DIY exercises. And then each one drops at the beginning of the month. So that's why we already have Creative Sacred Space, and now we have Denials. So you can go there, click on the title, and it'll give you all the information and what you need to do over the course of the month. Yeah. Real simple. The information is, we're using technology, guys. Website, all that. All that stuff. All righty. So the next thing in the Breaking Barrier program is the actual work. The work. There's work that you have to do. So the first thing is journal daily. And in the book, we have journal prompts for you. Now, you don't have to write to the journal prompts if you don't want to. They are just, like I said, prompts to help you, as you're writing whatever it is, whatever you're feeling, whatever you experience, whatever ahas and revelations you're getting. They're just something for you to chew on as you do your journaling daily. We want you to meditate daily. About 15 minutes. We're not asking a whole lot from you. But let you know, science says that if you meditate 20 minutes a day, then it changes your brain. At least 15 minutes a day. And it doesn't have to be all at once. You can do 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, however you want to break it up if you want to do that. And we have a Friday Breaking Barrier call. So every Friday morning at 7 a.m. for about 15 minutes, really 15 minutes. We cut it off 15 minutes. You get on this conference call with us, and we really just touch base. Anybody want to share anything they learned, have any questions about how the week is going for you with the Breaking Barrier program, do a little spiritual mind treatment, and then we go on with our day. So it's just a way for us to check in each week, just for 15 minutes. For those of you that cannot make the 7 a.m. call, we do record them so that you can listen to them when you're able, because I know some people are already at work or what have you. And then the Breaking Barrier affirmation. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. We want you to really sit and focus and contemplate on that at least once a week. Sit with that. Maybe in one of your meditations, you use that as a mantra in that meditation. Just sit with that. So that's the work that we're saying, that we're asking of you, that you got to do. We won't know if you do it or not. That's on you. That's your work. Remember, you have to be ready to do this work. So, final thing is our acknowledgement bowl. Isn't it pretty? Our acknowledgement bowl. Let me see, I wrote something about that now. We have our acknowledgement bowl, and we have our NBCs. These are no barrier coins. These are better than them NFTs, them little non-fungible tokens that ain't worth nothing anymore. These are more valuable than that. Hotter than them NFTs. So the acknowledgement bowl is a visual representation of the work that we are doing as a collective to break through our barriers and break to the goals and dreams and desires we have for ourselves. So, how do you get one of these? There's several ways you can get them. Number one, attending our Breaking Barrier events. You get one. We'll put your initials on one side, we'll put the event on the other side, and we'll drop it in the bowl. Number two, DIY activities, right? You complete your DIY activities. I know some of you have some nice sacred spaces. Y'all are so creative and decorative. Got your creative space? Give us a picture. Drop it in the bowl. A recommendation from your accountability partner, from one of the revs, from another member of the program, or from yourself. If you had that week, if you were doing the doggone thing, if you went through and you was on all cylinders, baby, go ahead and get you a chip. Put it on there, put it in the bowl. NBC. If you have any ahas or any breakthroughs, any revelations, anything that, wow, just really made you look at life differently, give you a different perspective on the barrier, the challenge that you have, or if you broke through it. You know, I've been afraid to speak in front of people forever, and I went to work and I gave the best presentation. Here you go. Here's your NBC. Here's your NBC. And any milestones or goals that you achieve. Come, get you a chip. We put it in there, and each week we'll see this bowl grow and fill. It'll be inspiring to see how all of us come together to break our barriers and achieve the goals and dreams that we have for ourselves and for each other. So, this is the Breaking Barrier program. This is the Breaking Barrier program. You'll get a book every quarter where we'll cover the next 3 months. In here, we also have some inspirational quotes. Right? Something maybe you need a little pick-me-up. Got an inspirational quote in here as well. So this is a program. This is the program, guys. This is what the Revs have come up with to help support each and every one of us, the Revs included, because as you see, we got barriers too, to do that. So if you are ready to commit to this program, we are going to be saying a pledge of commitment together. So if you can pass them out for me, Reverend JC. If you are ready, we're going to say this pledge. And then you're going to sign the board. Okay? Now, if you are watching us online and you are ready to commit to the barrier breaking program, I need you right now to send a text to one of the Revs saying, I commit to the 2024 barrier breaking program. Right now, you need to do that now.
Or they can put it in the chat.
If somebody's watching the chat? Okay. You can put it in the chat.
Text their personal number, or is there like a toll free?
Text, you have to text the Rev. Or, like Reverend Terry said, you could put it in the chat. But if you put it in the chat now, because I know on YouTube, your name could be Funny Girl 2025. We ain't going to know who that is. You will have to give us your name. Or, okay, but those, we do have some community members, some Living Truth family that do not live in state or are not here for whatever reason today. Please go ahead and send a text to one of the ministers or put it in the chat that you are committing to the 2024 barrier breaking program. Okay? Don't sign nothing until you say the pledge now. We ain't there yet. They're there yet. Okay? So, if you all are ready to participate, ready and willing to participate, we are going to now say the pledge. So get yourself ready. I'd like you all to stand up, because I need you to say with your chest. Stand on business. Stand on business. Say it like you mean it. All right. We're going to say it together. You know, it's I and then state your name, right? Okay. You ready? You ready? All right. Let's begin. I, Andrea Pitts, make the commitment to do my work, to break any mental, emotional, and physical barriers and limitations I may consciously or subconsciously hold, believe, or give power to. I understand that as I do my deep inner work, revelations and challenges may arise that can cause me to question, confront, or waver in my commitment to staying the course and doing my work. I will not give up. I will do my work. I am committed to my personal and spiritual growth. I am committed to moving past my fears. I am committed to healing, evolving, and stepping into my divine, authentic power. I enter into this commitment of my own free will. Stop. I need y'all to say that one more time. I enter into this commitment of my own free will. I desire to change my life, and I am ready to do my work. Oops, I went the wrong way. I recognize that God is the only presence and power there is, and what is true of God is the truth for me. With unquestioning faith, I affirm and declare that there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Woo! That sounded so good. Y'all gave me chills. They multiplying. Are these the markers? These the markers? Okay. All righty. Who sign your pledge? And then whoever's ready, come and sign the board. And sign the board. Thank you, ma'am. How do you normally sign something?
I sign different ways depending on that part.
Well, then you go on ahead and sign it however you need to sign it. I do. Sign the board. Thank you, Reverend Josephine. Thank you so much, Vic. Who next? Yes, you keep that.
Oh, we keep that?
You keep that. That's your oath. Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Okay.
You're not about. I was about to talk about you in a minute if you didn't get up now. There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Revs. Pick a spot. Pick a spot. I got 3 texts up in here, guys. I got 3 texts. All right, we doing the doggone thing. Not yet. All right now. All right now. Get low. Get low. All right now. All right. Woo, guys. We done did that. We done did that. We signed the board. Well, I didn't put it up on the screen, but y'all knew what y'all was doing. Y'all signed the board. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do today in this whole section of things is we're going to repeat that barrier-breaking affirmation. We just signed. Let's go on ahead and repeat that together 3 times. Ready? There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Again, there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We're going to support you, honey. We supporting you. We are supporting you. We understand. We understand. We are all supporting you, mama.
Thank you.
And it's a pretty signature, too. Look at that. Okay, guys. Let's do this last one. We're going to say it like we mean it. Say it with your chest. Okay? Ready? There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. And so it is. I thank you for your time. I will turn it back over to Reverend Chantel so she can go ahead and finish us up with some announcements, and then we'll move to the fun portion of the story.
Let's give it up for Reverend Drea. Come on. Wasn't that a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful journey in truth, reminding us about this barrier-breaking event, reminding us about fasting. So be with us as we continue through 2024, breaking our barriers and through this fasting time. So I got some announcements for y'all. That's what I'm going to break down right now. So next Sunday, we have our trending topics. The Revs will be up here, and we will also have a special guest with us. Mr. Jeremy will be with us as well on the table, talking about the trending topics that are going to be happening and giving it, a little truth to it as well. And then the next Sunday, that's me, y'all. So come and see me and hear a little bit more about truth in my journey in truth service. I'm working on that now. And next, we're going to have Reverend Jada going to come up and speak another journey in truth, giving us that truth. Yeah. And if you came in a little late, that's okay. We understand. But we still want you to give because as I said earlier, as you give, you receive. We gave out the love earlier, we received some love back. So let's give some tithe and funds so we can receive tithe back. And there are two ways you can do it, through setting up a one-time with Tithely, or the easiest way that a lot of us work with is Cash App, and this is our Cash App handle. So please make sure that you give to Living Truth because you are only just giving back to yourself. So it's just circulating back. So let's make sure we do that. We also have our Moments in Meditation when it's back, which is by our Reverend Drea, who y'all just heard speak. And if you haven't been to a Moments in Meditation on Thursday evening, it is a very powerful time to just get still, relax, get in that meditation. And if you don't know how to meditate, this is a great way to learn and start engaging and figuring out how to stop that monkey mind. You know, that starts when if you first start meditating, you'd be wondering, why can't I just sit still? Well, she can help you, guide you through this process. We also have the Nora Foundation, which is Dr. Rocco, the famous Dr. Rocco. And he has his Aramaic School of Light, which is the second Saturday of each month from 1 to 3. And that is a $30 per class. Or you can visit online, or you take his class online each Wednesday evening from 7 to 8. And that is just a love offering. And to register, you will email at the Nora Foundation at mail.com or call the numbers listed here. We also have our Friday breakthrough call, which is what Reverend Drea was mentioning, 15 minutes, that's it, at 7 o'clock. Here is the information. If you're not getting our text, we do have a text that goes out and reminds you. So if you're not on that text, just let one of the Revs know so we can make sure you get signed up for that. So that way you're notified, because if you, like me, you got a lot going on, and that little text is a very helpful reminder. So we send those texts out constantly of what is going on at Living Truth 365. So please sign up to be a part of that. And join us on the call. If you can't make the call, again, they are recorded so you can listen to it later. And then we have a class coming up. Hey, bye. Reverend JC right there in the back. The Principles of New Thought. Now, this is a powerful book that gives you a lot of foundation on, there we go. Our wonderful Vanna Black. There you go. I couldn't think of it. I didn't want to say Vanna. I didn't want to say the other one. But this starts on February 12th. That's next, is that next week? That's next Monday. So not this Monday coming up, but the next one. So you still have time to sign up. It'll be via Zoom. You don't have to leave your home. But this is a way to get an introduction into truth, to really learn about what we're teaching here, what we're practicing here, what we want to give you. And this will give you a really good foundation of that. So I encourage all of you, if you have not signed up, even if you read the book and you think you know what truth is, take it again. Because sometimes that reminder, and when you reread books, something new always comes out of it. So I really encourage you, even if you read the book, you've taken the class, take it again. And Reverend JC is going to bring something different to it anyway. So, you know, come on to the class. We have our gathering, which is going to be coming up in March. And we are going to go Kev on stage and that chick Angel. Here's the thing. And that's at the Coca-Cola Roxy in Atlanta. We're going to be going to that on March 23rd at 7:30. If you want to go, it is $55, and you need to Cash App it to LT365 by that's tomorrow. By tomorrow. Tickets are going fast. So get it in quickly. We would love for you to join us. When you do, send it to the Cash App. Make sure that you put that is for the gathering so that we know what you are wanting to pay for, and we can make sure we get your ticket. But please come and join us. We'd like to get out and get together. Remember, as I said, as I started, we are about building relationships, building family, and this is one of the ways that we want to continue to engage with you. And today, we're going to be putting together our sugar jars. So if you didn't bring a sugar jar, don't worry about it. We got some for you. And we ask that you stay after service and engage with us on doing the sugar jar, on getting your accountability partner, on really moving forward with this fasting season that we're moving into. And then our truth trekkers, going to take us on a walk, right? Spiritual walk. And we're going to go up Red Top Mountain? Yeah, Red Top Mountain. And that is going to be on Saturday, the 17th, February 17th at 9 o'clock. So we look forward to getting out in nature, connecting with nature, and again, building this community of living truth, building with each other, getting around like minds. And we got another gathering, but that one is for this month. We needed to give you the March one because that one is selling out. But the one that's happening this month is going to be One Love with Barb Marley. One Love. Y'all know that song. One Love. And I was looking at the actor. He said he was doing a lot of studying to really learn the dialect of this. So let's hope. We hope. But we're gonna come and we're going to gather and we're going to go and see it together. Oh, yeah, that's after me, y'all. So, hey, let's go out and just do some One Love after that. I might need to mix that up in there. Thank you for that one. So that's going to be at the AMC Parkway Point at 1:45. So that'll pretty much be, once we leave here, we're going to head on over to the theater and we're going to watch the movie. And then our training topic in March is going to be on what we went and did a gathering on last month, Origins. And the reason why we chose this is because it was such a powerful movie. I have not had the opportunity to see it, so I'm going to see it. And they're giving me enough time because it's on Sunday, March 10th, so that's next month. So we encourage all of you to take the time to go and see this very powerful movie so you can come back and engage with us during our training topics and really have a deep discussion about it. Reverend Drea had mentioned this. We're going to be starting the Linton season, 40 days, starting Wednesday, February 14th. Remember, we're going to have something on the 13th. 13th, right? She gave us all of the details on that, but look for that information to be coming out again via our text. If you're not signed up for the text, make sure you get one of the revs so we can sign you up. We also have our Winter Book Club event. We got a lot going on here at Living Truth, right? You see, we have a lot of ways for you to be engaged, for you to be a part of this community, for you to feel like you have a spiritual community with you. It is your choice to get yourself involved with us and get yourself in the work. But as you work with us, you'll see that you'll have loving spiritual people around you that will always be here for you to give you what you need. So, yes, let's go into the Winter Book Club, February 28th, Black AF History. You can get this on pretty much all platforms, Amazon. I think it's also on the Kindle Reader, right? So you can hear it. If you're not one of those people to sit down and read, you can listen to it. But come already read it, so you got a few more weeks to get it in, so you can come engage in the conversation with us. Get your reppin' tea, y'all. We got some teas. Oh, wait, hold on, Jada got it, come on. You gotta walk the runway, girl. You got to walk the runway. Come on up, come on. Let's see. Reppin', she reppin' consciousness. So there's all types of creative. We all in love, we all in relationship here. But get your merch. Get your merch. You can scan it right here. And y'all, all you gotta do is take your phone and your picture, and that'll actually bring you to the link if you don't know how to do that. Or you can go to the website, which is sdcaffinistudios.com. If you can get any of that, we'll repeat it and give it to you later. But go ahead and get your, huh? Oh, or the or this, the barrier-free. Because you know we barrier-free in 2024. We breaking through these barriers, y'all. So come on, get your merch so you can let the world know as you go out. Because they're gonna ask you, where's that? What? I like that shirt. Where you get that from? I'm about to rock mine today. I'm about to go to the gym, y'all. In the basketball game, yeah, I'm a basketball mom, so they're gonna be asking me what this is about. Visit us on our website, livingtruth365.org. We are on the web. Connect with us on the web. Connect with us on social media. Join our YouTube. Oh, hold on. Let me go before I go too fast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can always be connected. It will actually ding on your phone when you know when it's connected. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Yes, sir.
We have a mistake on the slide with the book club. Can you go back to it?
I can. Let me
And I need you to repeat to the people out
in the YouTube land. Y'all listening?
So February 28th is actually a Wednesday. It should be the 24th.
Okay. So we are meeting on Saturday, February 24th for the book club. And y'all probably went in your calendar. It's like, there ain't no Saturday the 28th. So thank you for that correction. The 24th is a day that we will be doing our book club service or our book club conversation. So read the book because it's important to read the book to be able to come to the conversation. I skipped one because I didn't remember saying this. Do y'all remember this? Okay, never mind. Skip that one. So again, join us on YouTube and social media. All of you, I'm going to do something real quick because, I didn't bring my phone. Hold on. Social media is where we at today. I want all of y'all to smile real big. Real big, right? Content. Real big. Because I'm about to put y'all on my social media. Hey. And do the same. Do the same, y'all. Take a picture, share us on social media, because that is how we're going to bring more people into this family. And that's how we're going to spread our message more. Come on.
One more thing, guys, about the Breaking Barrier program. In addition to texting, we got some people to text to let us know they were ready to participate. Everybody will get their accountability partner before they leave here today. Those who are out of town but are watching us, who are out of town, you can have your accountability partner sign the board on your behalf. Those of you who are watching us but they're in town, we will see you next week. Then you can sign your board.
Next week.
So you can sign your board. But anybody because we do have some wonderful community members that don't live in Atlanta, they'll be able to have their accountability partner sign the board on their behalf. So we're going to put some chips in here today as well. Those who participated in the vision board event, those who did their creative space, and did their letter to God, they will go ahead and already get, if they did all three chips to put, NBCs. I got to get the lingo right. 3 NBCs to put into the acknowledgement bowl. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. So as Reverend Drea said, I'm speaking to my online people. Come on in to service. Come on in to this Truth Center. You feel the energy. Can all of y'all say you feel it different when you're in here? Yes. It's different than when you're watching. I know sometimes, and definitely COVID did it to us, right? We just got comfortable in our homes. We got comfortable in that isolation. But it's time to break out. It's time to reconnect with community. It's time to reconnect with your spiritual community. And this is one of the spiritual communities that you can connect with. And we're here and we're open and we're welcoming. Come on in to 365. So we're going to wrap it on up. And how we wrap it on up is with our 2024 barrier breaking affirmation. I'm going to make y'all stand up one more time because we're going to say with power. We're going to say with energy because we're breaking the barriers 3 times. Let's go. There are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. There are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. There are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. And so it is. Now y'all can't leave. Y'all can't leave.
Y'all not leaving. Go get some water, get some snacks, use the restroom. We are coming back in about